The previously defined loads and constraints are now compiled into a load step. Load steps are sometimes referred to as subcases. Let's start by clicking on the Setup option from the menu toolbar. We are going to simply name this load step, loadstep_1. In this exercise, constraints and forces will be referenced. The constraints are called SPC, an abbreviation for single-point constraints. Forces are referenced via load. The message bar tells you once more what to do. Select the load collector. Remember, don't mix up the collectors containing forces and constraints. Otherwise the finite element program will prompt an error message. As you can see, the load collector containing constraints is referenced by its ID. Later on, you will find this kind of referencing in the finite element program input file. Don't worry, in the input file you will also find a header explaining the referenced IDs. And now, let us reference the applied forces. As before, the load collector containing forces is referenced by its ID. This pop-up window lists available analysis disciplines. In this exercise, we are going to run a linear static analysis. Note the load step folder which is listed in the model browser now. In the next section, we want to review the contents of a load step. In other words, we would like to understand which load collectors are referenced within a given load step. To do this, click the highlighted Setup option. As the load step already exists, we activate the Edit panel. In order to review the contents of a load step, click the Review button. Select the corresponding load step. Of course, here just one load step is listed. Without your interaction, the load collector referenced by SPC and load is listed. The same accounts for the type of analysis. Just compare the load collector IDs with the ones listed in the model browser. This gives you a pretty good understanding of the load collectors involved in a particular load step. A final remark here, if you wish to change something inside the load step, just make the changes and then confirm your work by clicking the Update button. This ends the chapter about loads, constraints, and load steps.